Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show, the last 90210 show for the year.
Yeah.
My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Well, it's been a good week here. It is December 23rd, 1999.
2 days till Christmas.
Yeah, happy Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. We're in England. Happy Christmas,
I was
everyone.
going to say, what just happened?
My happy Christmas, governor. Does that sound like is that a good British accent?
No.
Hey, governor. That's like a mentally challenged English person.
Right?
You don't see mentally. Do the English have mentally challenged people?
They just hide them. I mean, like back in like the Renaissance days, you know, they'd put them in like dungeons and shit. Like,
I've never really thought of it, but like, have you seen like a mentally challenged like Asian person or black person, like African?
yes,
I don't think I have.
I have seen them. Yes.
I think the white population has more. Is Mongoloid still considered a good term?
What is wrong with you?
What is that? I don't know what it's. I don't know what they're called.
What in the hell is wrong with you?
Isn't that the scientific term? No, that's not.
I don't know, but I don't think it's a term that we use.
Where does that come from?
Mongol.
Like Mongolian, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so is it more pronounced in the Mongol people, the Mongolians? And if that's the case, is it because Genghis Khan fathered so many people? Like, did he spread those kind of genes or something?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
So,
You know what I'm talking about, Carol? I'm talking about 9 yolks whipped lightly.
I think that's what you should have been talking about the whole time.
That's the name of the episode of 90210. Speaking of Mongoloids, the writers for 90210.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
How did we even get on this?
I don't remember.
Because of my dumb... My English accent.
Oh my
My
God.
bad English accent that I was doing. Hello,
How?
governor.
Yeah, how did this happen?
Happy Christmas, everyone. One and all. Or I could be from Liverpool. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Okay, let's
We're from Liverpool. Everyone in Liverpool's the Beatles.
let's practice our Southern California accent.
We're the 4 Beatles. Okay. Why don't you get on the 409 and get out of here?
I want to say something, but it would be...
What? You want to say something?
Oh my God, just stop.
Doesn't that sound Californian? Or do I have to sound like this?
I don't know.
Or it could be from somewhere else.
Holy shit. 90210, guys.
So, you know what is confusing me?
What?
The name of this episode was, speaking of everyone being confused in the audience, the name of the episode is 9 Yolks Whipped Lightly, which has to be a reference to Janet's trying to make eggnog, and her mom has like the best eggnog recipe or whatever. And she's like, if my mom was making this eggnog, it would be perfect, but it sucks. And that's never paid off.
No, you're right.
And I feel like there was a scene where her mom is like, because I was expecting this scene, where her mom was like, oh, let me show you.
So, late fee 1994 at AOL.com. If you'd like to let him know how you feel about his accent, his Mongoloid terminology, his general impressions of British people.
That was the most offensive part.
Please feel free to share.
So anyway, I was expecting a scene where she was like, Here's my secret. Ancient Chinese secrets. 9 yolks whipped lightly. But it never happened. And I feel like that scene was filmed but cut out.
Yeah, probably. I mean, because there's no other explanation for the title. I agree with you.
The first thing I noticed in this episode, though, there were two things funny that I noticed. First thing I noticed is that we start at a Christmas tree farm, and there Steve's picking out a Christmas tree.
No, Steve is filming him and Janet picking out a Christmas tree, and apparently annoying her somehow with it.
Yeah, well, she's a wife. They're always annoyed. That's part of the wife's like character arc in any TV show or movie. Wife annoyed at husband doing something.
Sure,
that's just what it is. That's every guy that ever wrote in Hollywood wrote that. But anyway, so he's filming at the Christmas tree farm, and the first thing I noticed is he didn't go up to Janet and his new child and say, "One fucking Christmas, I watched a school bus phase through a fucking garbage truck."
My God.
Why does he never talk about this? He saw it. He had to have.
I do not know, but it's a very good question.
It's fucking weird that in this fucking show, this soap opera fucking show, that it is canonical that guardian angels and shit exist.
Right?
What are we going to do with the kids from 90210? Let's try to get them the best eggnog recipe. 9 yolks whipped lightly. Anyway. No, it's ridiculous. And they watch It's a Wonderful Life at one point.
Yeah, they do. Well, not they. Just one of them. But.
No, 2 of them. Dylan's watching it, and then, what's his name? Noah shows up. Every time I see the 2 of them on screen at the same time, I feel like the film is going to, like, rip. Or, like, the entire world's going to implode.
Oh, my goodness. Like
because it is weird. They got him to be the new Dylan. They replaced him.
Well,
it would be like if on Bewitched somehow Dick Sargent and Dick York were able to be on screen at once. But, of course, they weren't because Dick York died, which is why they replaced him with Dick Sargent.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead and tell us what your favorite part of Christmas is.
So, they're picking out a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And Janet chooses one, and then the tree gets knocked down, and on the other side are her parents. Small world. Is, like, the Los Angeles or Beverly Hills area so small that this is a normal thing to happen?
It's incredibly tiny. It's probably only, like, 2 miles.
Okay. All right. Whatever, then.
I'm joking.
Oh. I don't know. I've never been there.
It's like saying, what are the odds of meeting the same person in New York over and over again? Like 1 in 9 million.
So it is weird.
LA's huge, yes.
Okay. Well, not LA, though. Beverly Hills.
Orange, the whole area. It incorporates more of just than Beverly Hills, but yes.
Okay. So anyways, they run into her parents.
Beverly Hills isn't huge, but, you know.
And her parents apparently had never seen the baby. And I know they hadn't been at the wedding, but I didn't realize like they never had anything to do with them ever after that.
Yeah. Well, they were like, well, the baby's not supposed to be born yet. And Steve's like, it was premature. And they're like, is it Mongoloid? Say
they did not.
No, they ask if everything's okay. And she's like, oh, there was some complications, but she's fine.
But they seemed, interested and happy to see the baby. But then they walk away. They don't hug her. They don't ask to hold the baby. Exactly. They don't make plans. Like, I would have felt really rejected, too.
Absolutely.
But then she's trying to make her mom's eggnog.
I think in response to this.
And that's when Steve's like, why don't you just call her?
You got to temper those eggs. She probably just gave Steve some.
Gross.
Yeah, Steve's like, come on, call. Because they're all planning on getting together. Well, first of all, they're all planning on getting together for Christmas. And everyone's going to buy the baby gifts. And they're not going to buy each other gifts.
That's weird. First of all, most of these people have money, so you could afford to do both.
Exactly.
But yeah, so they're giving the baby gifts, whatever. Mm-hmm. She invites her parents over for dinner.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they agree.
It's all looking good. it seems like it's even going well.
Yeah.
They are talking about the baby, and they asked about pictures, and Steve grabs the wedding pictures by accident.
Steve tries to like bond with the dad. He's like, "Hey, fucking Stanford's playing or whatever. They're like about to score a touchdown." He's like, "I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this baby."
Yeah, the dad kind of blew him off. But then they get like upset about the wedding, I guess, when he mentions it.
Well, so he's like, "Oh yeah, we have," because they're like, "Do you have any other pictures of the baby?" They keep bringing everything back to the baby, which is fine. I mean, that's what grandparents do. But Steve's like, "Oh yeah, we got plenty of pictures," and he picks up a pack of pictures, and he's like, "Oh, these are of the wedding," and the dad's like, "Oh, we gotta go."
Yeah,
it's really abrupt.
So the dad doesn't want to think about or hear about the wedding.
Yeah,
and then Janet's like, "But I made dessert, and it's only 7:00," and her mom's like, "Next time," which is really shitty. I mean, like she did literally make dessert. It's sitting on the counter. It looks beautiful, like a pineapple upside down cake or something.
Yeah.
But.
Now, I think in real life, I mean, this is a TV show, so obviously things have to be more dramatic. But I think in real life that this would be okay. Like, obviously, her parents are racist and whatever, and it's taking them a while to get used to their daughter's womb being invaded by the white man. But like they're trying and they're like getting there. I'm not saying like you should put up with racist parents if you have racist parents in real life or whatever. But I think in this particular instance, then continuing to invite them over, eventually they'll wear down. You know what I mean? And I think that's what would happen in real life. But instead, Steve makes me prouder of him than probably any character in the show ever has. And I hope, because they seem to mature his character and then devolve his character and then mature his character. I'm hoping that this is his final form or whatever. But he fully takes on the persona of like dad. He has dad energy. Mm-hmm. Because he's at their house. They show up and he's like, he is standing up for his wife. And
their house being the parents? Because that's not really... Okay.
He's standing up for his wife and his daughter in this instance.
Yeah, and I didn't fully understand this conversation, so please explain it.
It's okay. I don't know what there isn't to understand.
Well, because he's sitting on their porch reading a parenting book and talking about how, he thinks about, taking care of his family and
having lights and the security system.
Yeah, and that he would never give affection and take it away, and that he's not going to let them do that either.
Because he says consistency is the key with parenting.
And then he says, so tomorrow's Christmas, you're welcome to come, but keep in mind it's your last chance. What is he talking? Like, how is he threatening them? What does that even mean? Like, if they don't come for Christmas, then they're done? Or what? Like...
He's saying... that okay, so yeah, because he's like, look, I'm the baby is cute and everything now, and but eventually the baby, she's easy to love, but eventually she's gonna get older and she's gonna do things you don't like, and she's probably gonna do things I don't like, but I'm not going to withhold affection because I don't agree with her choices, and I'm not going to let you do that to her either. So you come, you're invited for Christmas. You come and you stay and you accept us for who we are and what we are. And that's great. You can be part of our lives and part of the family's life. But if we say or do something that you don't like and you're like, well, we're leaving, or we're taking away our affection, then you're done. That's it. Like, this is your last chance. Be there for your daughter and my daughter, or don't be there. That's what he's saying. Okay.
And they do choose to be there. They do show up, which is great.
Yeah.
Very happy.
And that's, and I think Janet and Steve are good together. Like I said, I feel like they're done.
Yeah.
That we'll have little things like this or whatever, and maybe they'll have like some comedic side plot. We'll have look at the baby. It's so every time we see the baby, it's just like it's still images. You can tell that there's no baby on set.
No,
like
absolutely not.
It's just still images of a baby in a crib. It's like if we would watch those old like bad like horror movies or something like Ed Wood style movies where like I'm gonna fight the sea monster or whatever, and you see this guy like go into this very like clearly man-made like lake where it's like an inch deep, and then we cut and there's just footage of a giant squid monster, like just stock footage of a giant squid monster, and like the two are never in the shot at the same time. It's like that. But anyway, so I feel like they're done. Their storyline is, their whole arc is good. They have a family. I'm happy with them. I don't want any strife to happen to them. They can just be happy and ride this out till the end of the show. I'm good.
Yes, I agree. Hopefully they will. So who do you want to talk about next?
I would say the biggest storyline is the Gina storyline.
Really?
The Gina storyline and then the Kelly storyline. Those are the two big ones.
I feel like they were all pretty equal, honestly. There was Gina, Kelly, Dylan,
Noah, and what's her face?
Yeah, I guess theirs was smaller, but anyway.
I mean, like, yeah.
Are you okay? Oh my god, his microphone just fell.
Attacked me again.
Like, that happens so often to you.
Well, not so often, but
it happens
often.
more often than it happens to me.
All right. You start with the storyline you want to do.
All right, so I guess we'll start with Dylan.
I'm still here, everyone.
I want to talk about Dylan.
All right.
So Dylan's at the community center. I don't get this either. He kind of has said several times that like he just wants to give them money and not be involved, and yet he continues to be there. So is he a big old softy and he really does want to be there, or what is going on? Like, in the past, it was kind of alluded that he was doing it to impress Kelly, but
yeah,
I don't think that's what's going on anymore.
No, I think he likes the kids. He likes being there.
So, he has some Alcoholics or Narcotics Anonymous meetings going on there, as though he's running the whole place now, by the way. Is he? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what happened to that bitch that didn't like gay people?
Yeah.
Is she not there?
I guess. That's happening, and one of the community members is upset. And
somebody that owns a house.
Yeah, he says that they're leaving cigarette butts and styrofoam cups everywhere. Which, I mean, that makes sense. And Dylan's like, yeah, they trade one habit for the other. Or I think the other guy might have said it, but either way, he's like, I'll talk to him, we'll get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
The guy is apparently trying to sell his house and shows up with a bag of garbage that he says people wouldn't walk over to get to his house.
Yeah, first of all, there's just a bag of garbage sitting, there's just a pile of garbage sitting in your front lawn. Like, are they specifically going over to this guy's house? I mean, one of it was like a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Right?
That's from the Attics? I don't understand that.
And is this in Beverly Hills? I don't think so. What neighborhood are we in?
Van Nuys.
Van Nuys? Van Nuys?
I don't know where we're at.
Because it just seems like there's got to be a lot.
No offense to our listeners that are living in Van Nuys.
But I mean, like you said, it seems like there's a lot of garbage rolling around for it to be just the meeting. So this has got to be like a not well kept neighborhood. And why are we blaming it all on them?
I don't know.
But yeah,
it's like, and he goes, you know what happens when a community center pops up in a neighborhood? This entire building popped up. What are you talking about?
It popped up in our show, I guess.
Yeah, it popped up in the show, but it's been here for a while, apparently.
Yeah.
They were going to close.
But he dumps the bag out and says, I've seen the people bringing these kids here. They're
garbage.
Yeah, they're no stranger to garbage.
Yeah.
So Dylan punches him in the face.
Yeah, very smart.
It's not a matter of intelligence, obviously. He was pissed, and I get it. I mean, like, he insulted a bunch of children and their parents. Like, that's awful.
Yeah, he's an asshole, but, like, you've got to have some kind of self-control, I think.
I mean, yeah, you do. You know I don't like violence, but I do not blame him for punching that guy.
Wow, you would have liked it if it... Now, if
Did I say it aroused me? No.
I'm sorry, but is it just because it's Dylan?
No, I think that guy deserved to be fucking punched.
So if it was Noah, you would have also felt the same way?
Yes.
The comedy answer would have been to say no. Ooh, no. But anyway, so so he punches him and then pays him off.
Yeah, well, that's awful. That's off screen. We hear about that later.
Yep, keep going.
So, we hear about him being paid off. One of the children punches another child over a fucking foosball game. Which that's a bit extreme, not the same. So the kid gets sent home, and
awful to punch someone over a foosball game.
So kid gets sent home, and he's all upset, and he's like, but you did it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And this is also
I learned it from watching you do it.
Right.
That's what he says.
This is also after I think Kelly or Donna were like, oh, you're an example. It was Kelly. You're an example to those kids. He's like, I don't want to be an example to the kids.
Exactly. He pulls a full Charles Barkley.
I don't know who Charles Barkley is.
Charles Barkley is a professional basketball player in the National Basketball Association.
Okay.
And he famously did a commercial that said, like, I am not a role model or something like that.
So that's, a whole thing where he learns a lesson, I guess, that the kids look up to him because they're emulating his behavior.
Yeah. You know what my favorite part about that entire scene is?
What?
Well, not that scene, but when he's in the office talking to the little boy, I noticed behind him there's a poster of two cowboys. It's like a Rocky Mountain scene. So it's like you see the majestic Rocky Mountains in the background, and then you see like the two cowboys in front of it. Like classic like cigarette ad.
Yeah, it looks
stuff,
like
right?
the Marlboro Man. Yeah.
Yeah, and it says Did you read the caption? What it says on it? It said, "Bob, I have emphysema."
I did not read that. No. That is hilarious.
And I was like, okay, just normal talk between two cowboys. Bob, I have emphysema. And why is that something like, it's like an AIDS diagnosis. Is that something you need to like reveal dramatically to your friend? Bob, I have emphysema. Yeah, we could tell from your coughing. From the brown bits escaping your mouth.
Gross.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I just thought that was funny.
Another thing going on with Dylan in this episode is he reveals to David that Kelly, talked to him.
Yes, proposed to him.
About, getting together. And David's like, well, what would you do if she meant it? Or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I would run away and regret it for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Surprising self-awareness from Dylan.
I don't understand it, though. Like, if you really know you'd regret it, then why run away in the first place?
Because he doesn't want to do it either. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's, you should want it, but you don't.
Like going to the gym?
Yeah, I guess, sure.
He knows it would be good for him, but.
Right. But it would be better to eat junk food and, I don't know, masturbate or whatever. I don't know. What do people do that don't go to the gym? I don't know.
Watch TV. That's what I do.
There you go.
That's what I do when you go to the gym. I mean, maybe some other things too.
Wow.
The other thing going
That's
on.
Right. Hit him, Dylan. Jesus.
God.
Anyway, go ahead.
I feel like we got to talk about Matt and Kelly now.
All right, let's talk about Matt and Kelly.
So,
it is connected. It's all connected.
It is all connected.
It's all connected, everyone. I've got red wire.
What?
Red yarn, red string. I'm connecting.
Okay.
No, like in that movie Conspiracy where he's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelly and Matt are decorating the tree.
Mm-hmm. And she doesn't like to use tinsel.
And he does, so they compromise that he can use tinsel, but they have to open a gift.
I hate that I agree with Kelly about something, but I do. I hate tinsel.
I don't mind it, but I also don't use it. Like, I think it's pretty.
Here's the thing. It's pretty-ish, but it's nowhere near pretty enough for the fucking havoc it causes.
Yeah.
Because she's right. It gets everywhere. It's so hard to get out of everything. You try to vacuum it up, it breaks vacuum cleaners. Like, I equate it to sand, how sand gets everywhere. The difference being is the beach is fun enough to deal with the sand for the next 2 months.
And the difference being that you're not pulling tinsel out of your ass crack later. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, don't you find that to be a problem after you go to the beach?
Yeah, but
Okay.
you're arguing against my points.
Well, that's all I ever do. Come on.
I'm just thinking that the beach is good enough fun
Okay.
to make up for it. Tinsel's not pretty enough.
She gives him a book of maps of the area.
Yes, because he's always getting lost.
And he's like, "Oh, I love it." You could tell he hates it. Like, I guess it's kind of an offensive gift, but it's also sweet.
It's sweet because it's like, quote unquote, the thought that counts or whatever. But it's also like kind of a dumb gift, like a book of maps. I don't know. It's whatever. And yeah, he's very dismissive about it. We should mention with the gift he gives her, he gets the money for it because now he's a patent attorney.
Oh, I didn't make that connection, but yeah. He gets a check for $15,000 at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, the guy's like, this restaurant was my idea or whatever. And he's like, it's really hard to prove. And, I'm not going to do it on contingency or whatever. Like how some lawyers would be like, we don't get paid unless you win or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not doing that because I don't think we're going to win. And he's like, well, I'll just pay you money. I want to fight this no matter what.
I don't care what it costs.
And he's like, well, I need $15,000. And he's like, all right, here you go.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's the cost of this gigantic ring that he pulls out.
It's huge. Did you see her face? For a second, I thought that Jenny Garth was not acting. She was like, oh my gosh. You could see her eyes momentarily shine green.
Right. But yeah, he proposes. And she says yes.
I assume that they directed her to do it this way, or it was her idea to do it this way because she knows what's going to happen in future scripts or whatever, but she says it with clenched teeth where she doesn't fully open her mouth. She's like, yes.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird yes.
100% a weird yes. And that, like I said, I feel like it must be written that way. Because that wouldn't be my natural instinct as an actor to be like, oh, I'll say yes in a fucked up way. You know what I mean? So I assume that this is Trouble in Paradise foreshadowing.
So you suspect that she's not going to end up marrying him, huh?
Yeah, that's I went back and forth during the episode, but reflecting back on the yes, I think they're still setting that up, yeah.
Well, and then later, when they're all at the Christmas party, Dylan wants to talk to her in the kitchen.
And Steve keeps coming in like fucking Leslie Nielsen in Airplane or whatever. I expected him to be like, good luck. I just want you to know we're all counting on you or whatever. Whatever that line is. But he's like, oh, we need you out here, guys.
For a toast.
And Matt's looking for you.
So
but Dylan's like, hey, I'm going to change my life because you want me to.
Yeah, he's talking about change. He's like, remember what we talked about, getting all serious, and then they get called out there, and Matt announces that they're engaged.
Yep.
So I feel like Dylan was 100% going to be like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think he was going to too. And it's funny because they play this like it's a surprise that she's engaged, but she's wearing a fucking beacon on her finger. No one noticed that? How mesmerizing is this baby?
Right?
It's like fucking baby's infinite jest. They're just, yes, that's a David Foster Wallace reference. It's just they're just staring at her and they see nothing around them.
Well, in the morning, weirdly, Noah comes into Donna's room to have her blow out a birthday candle on a croissant.
A croissant.
And then Kelly comes in, also in her pajamas, and jumps on the bed. Boundaries at all?
Yeah, all three of them.
But then she tells them that she's engaged. So they already knew. Mm-hmm. Donna's had the whole day to process and talk to her, but she decides to now pull her away after they've announced it.
Yes.
Be like, hey.
You've got something in your teeth. And all of them are staring at the baby, so they don't know that that's a lie.
She's like, I just wanted to check in. A couple days ago, you were talking about Dylan, so.
And she's like, it's all right. I've had Matt's penis inside me since then, so it's okay.
She honestly, other than the weird no or a weird yes, looks very happy.
She does, which is why I went back and forth, and it confuses me kind of about how she's playing this. But yeah, I think that initial reaction is so visceral. I think they're still hinting that this is not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. They don't have a ton of episodes left.
Do you know what would be the most convenient for everyone involved? Is if Matt and Noah went on like a trip together and they just died.
Oh my
They
God.
just got into a horrific car accident or something, and like Dylan just runs in. Kelly, it's Matt and Noah. They were both drinking and driving.
Oh my God.
No, but Noah was drinking and driving, and Matt was reading books on different kinds of law.
Let's talk about that, though. Noah's drinking and driving.
Yeah.
So Donna is just all fucked up in the head and keeps bringing up
He lied about Harvard.
Not only lying about Harvard, which just came up last episode, but also this accident that we found out about early on with Noah's character, where he was driving and his girlfriend got killed and it, messed him up. So apparently, based on this conversation, I think what we're supposed to believe is that he was going to Harvard, and then the accident happened, and that's when he left Harvard.
I believe he was going to go to Harvard, or maybe he had just started going to Harvard.
Yeah,
but like first semester because he was 18. And then the accident happened, and he decided not to. And he could have been arrested for a DUI, which I don't think we knew until last episode. Now that I think about it, but like he had been drinking, probably not drunk according to him, but he had been drinking, and his parents like swept that, like they paid it.
They're
that
rich,
off.
yeah.
To sweep under if you're rich enough, you don't face consequences in the country. Ask O.J. Simpson,
right?
But no, don't ask him. That's dangerous. But anyway, so like that's, I think now she's trying to investigate that. She's like, "What was your blood alcohol level?" and stuff. Like, and she's being super inappropriate. I get if she's questioning or whatever whether or not she can trust him, what else he's lied about, whatever. Sure, I guess. His lie is innocuous, like the Harvard thing. It's not like it's part of a thing that happened that is shameful to him, and he wants to get past. So it's easier to just lie about that than to try to explain it to everybody.
Yeah, it's
like how sometimes I lie about being colorblind.
What?
I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I am actually. By the literal definition of the word. But here's the thing. I think of colorblind as someone that can't see color. Okay? I can see color. I have problems differentiating between the shades of different colors and stuff like that, but specific colors, like green and yellow and stuff like that. I have a specific type of color blindness or like color deficiency where I don't have enough rods or cones or whatever in my eyes, and I don't see things. I don't see colors the way most people see colors. But that's all super hard to explain. It takes a long time, and it's so much easier to just be like, I'm colorblind. Like, I mean, I don't tell people I can't see any colors, but I'll say, like, I have a color blindness or whatever, instead of explaining the whole thing. So, like, that's kind of a lie, sort of, I guess.
I mean, it's a little more innocuous than lying about graduating from a university.
Yeah. But I'm not fully colorblind. I can't like you know how
I know. I understand.
But it's hard to explain that to someone in a way that's easy for people to understand. It's like when I can't tell greens and yellows apart, and like most shades of every color look the same to me.
Yeah.
I can't really tell shading, so
sometimes I have to help them out when it comes to color.
Yeah, 100%.
So
we did laser tag
the
other day.
Is funny.
And I like they're lit up in certain colors, and you grab the color. Well, I was on the opposite team from the people that I came with because I didn't realize I grabbed one that was a different color than everyone else.
Yeah, so he ended up
all looked the same.
He ended up on the red team with a bunch of little boys, and the rest of us were on the blue team.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell the difference between those two. So,
but they needed your help, so it was all good.
It was fun stuff. But anyway, I think that's what he's doing though. Instead of saying like, well, I did go to Harvard, I got accepted, and I went to Harvard for like a second, but I didn't graduate because the shameful thing had like going into all that and everything. Right. It's just easier to be like, yeah, I went to Harvard.
So he's not an alum because he didn't graduate.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if that happened. If it happened in the summer, this accident, then I guess he never actually attended, but he was admitted. Or it could have happened in the fall, and he did go to some classes, but didn't graduate. And it sounds like he was not there long at all. But yeah, that's his lie. And so she's taking that and being like, what else did you lie about? Oh, you might have killed her or whatever.
This terrible, painful thing that happened. And she's just asking him coldly and all these questions. It's like, none of your goddamn business. It's been dealt with. He worked through it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate him.
Yeah.
But I think she's being awful, and I'm on his side in this.
I do too. And she's really probing, and like she's bringing up like tons of bad memories and stuff. And it's like, this is not that old. This is not decades old. This is like 6 years.
Yeah.
And he's taken a long time to work through this. And his fucking dad killed himself and everything. This guy's been emotionally like sucker punched many times. Like, this is fucked up.
And like, he eventually says to her, Donna, I've dealt with this and I'm not going through it again. And she's like trying to be like, oh, I'll believe you. It's like, but you really won't. And
he says, I know you won't. You'll say you believe me now. You'll want to believe me. And then in 3 months, you'll be like, hey, are there accident records and stuff? Which is 100% what she would do.
Yeah.
And he's like, so we can't do this anymore. So they break up.
Yep. Thank God, though. I've been waiting for that.
So we have one engagement and one breakup.
So weird. I don't like it.
Oh, and a bro makeup. Because the Dylan and David are back to being very good friends again. Watching big time wrestling together. Are you a fan of big time wrestling? They're talking about The Rock and the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No.
I just kicked your ass or whatever. Was it Austin 316? That's what it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
It says I just kicked your ass.
I watched WWF. Like,
that's what this is.
Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker and
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Art thou bored? Snip it to a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Sure. Yeah.
The
Junkyard Dog. Big Boss Man.
See, now you're saying stuff
Jake
I don't know.
the Snake.
I remember Jake the Snake. Roberts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase.
But yeah, I'm not up on the current dudes.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
I watched a very little bit of it when I was very young. Like I said, Junkyard Dog era. Now it's more popular than ever. Like wrestling, it's big time popular now. And I think the rivalry between the WWF and WCW, where now like Hulk Hogan is in WCW. With I don't know the two guys. That's NWO, I think it is. Roddy Piper, remember him? But he was in one of my favorite movies of all time.
What's that?
Fuck, I can't think of the name of it now.
Okay.
It's a John Carpenter movie. They Live. That's what it's called. It's a great movie. But anyway, so now it's hugely popular, and the Rock guy and Stone Cold Steve Austin are super popular.
So David and Dylan are bonding over that.
Yeah.
And even like way back when they were picking out Christmas trees in the beginning of the episode, they're like, oh, let's throw him a bone, and hugging for Steve's pictures.
Oh,
and,
wow. Bad phraseology.
And yeah, they're apparently completely over their Gina drama.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Which is great. And like he has lunch with Gina at some point, and she's like, I just wanted to know we could be friends. He's like, yeah, cool, of course. That's in the script because that's how it would be.
In 90210, that's how it always is. Yeah. But in real life, fuck that.
No, none of these people would talk to each other.
No.
If anybody did the things that these people have done to each other,
yeah,
they'd all be sitting alone in apartments, like either crying or hanging from the ceiling. Like that's what would happen.
Yeah, So.
Oh no! Oh no! I had to do something earlier.
Sorry.
And now you've taken revenge.
Gina is pretty much, I think, the only one left to really talk about. Gina and Donna.
Yes.
So this is weird. Gina and Donna go to their parents' house.
Yeah. It is their parents. At least their dad.
Yeah. And they're talking about the upcoming Christmas party. And they're talking about how they don't want Gina there because they don't have to explain her.
It's the Christmas party / Donna's birthday party.
It's Donna's birthday party too.
Kind of, yeah, because it's her birthday's Christmas.
Well, I know that, but that doesn't mean that's what the party's for. I don't think that party was for her.
It's well, yeah, they did say like, oh, wouldn't you rather spend time with your fucking boyfriend or whatever? Because you're not gonna know. That's all. No one's your age is gonna be here.
Yeah, so they're trying to make it her idea, but it's not flying, and she gets it right away what's going on, and she's hurt.
Yeah, she being Gina.
Yes. Gina's feelings are very hurt because they don't want to, have her around as their daughter. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you know what, forget it. Yeah. I'm just going to leave. And Donna is like walking her to the door, and Gina's like, you got to choose right now. And she's like, well, I'm not going to go against my dad. And she's like, okay, you're a single child again.
Yep, and she leaves.
Or only child again or whatever.
Yeah. She's also single now.
Yeah, that's true.
Single and only.
But then later in the episode, Gina asked her how the party was, and Donna's like, oh, I didn't go because you weren't there. Like, where was that when it mattered?
Right. Well, I guess it does matter now because they're bonding now.
I guess.
Because, like, she's talking to David about it and how she's all mad and everything. And then fucking Donna's mom shows up, armed with the only thing that matters to her.
Money.
A checkbook.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know how long you're going to fucking put us through this, but let's get down to what you really want. Like, later, she goes to talk to John. That's his name that I've learned. Donna's dad. And he's like, oh, she's phrased it badly or whatever. She phrased it like a Bond villain. Like, this is fucking awful. But she's like, like, she looks disgusted with her, too.
Yeah.
And she's like, how much to... my husband has a financial responsibility to or whatever.
So how much will it take?
And she's like, you couldn't even make a dent, and she leaves.
Yeah. And that's true. Like, the amount of emotional damage that has been done to her for not having a father for her whole, life. Like, fuck you. You can't make up for that.
Yeah, and then so she talks to him, and she's like...
Gina.
Yeah, Gina talks to the dad, and she's like... because he's like, oh, you had a dad, though, like... And she goes, my dad was a bedtime story. Because she was so young when he died. She's like, I barely remember him. I have one picture of him. It's more of like he's, at that point, he's more of a myth.
Yeah. Than
an actual figure in her life. And he, like, half-heartedly says something about, like, oh, when he died, I thought, I was going to, like, trails off or whatever because he didn't do shit.
Right.
He's an asshole. And he's like, well, like, I don't know what you want from me or what you expect from me or whatever. And eventually she gets to the point she's like, I don't expect anything from you. And she leaves. Because, like, he's trying to put it all on her. Like, tell me what you want kind of thing. She wants a fucking family, you asshole. Like, she wants some of the time and love and attention that she wasn't afforded when she was a kid back. She wants some validation that, like, you care and are proud of her.
But they'll give her none of that.
No.
Money is easy for them. They'll do that.
Because he's ashamed.
Yeah.
And what he's ashamed of is himself.
Right, not her.
But he can't face that for her. Mm-hmm. And that's the mature thing to do. But he won't do it.
So, yeah.
I used to like him, and I'm kind of, like, I kind of don't like him.
No,
now.
Donna's parents suck. Donna kind of sucks. I don't know who in the show I like.
But the two women do come together, though, because Gina and her are talking or whatever. And they're talking about, like, when she said she didn't go to the party and stuff like that. And she's like, like, she says something like, I can't remember, like, something good will come out of this or something like that. And Gina's like, what if it already has or whatever? And then they hold hands, and it's like, oh, they're going to be sisters, like, kind of thing. So,
yeah.
And David's fucked both sisters.
Yes, he has. Good for him. Maybe he'll get a threesome. It's not every freaky dude's dream.
I guess every freaky dude's dream, sure.
All right.
But yeah, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own threesome with two sisters. estranged from their father.
Oh my God. You can
So
write
it's
us.
not as weird.
You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.